273 pounds, almost 200. You're saying to yourself by this point, super fat bastrix, right? Well, with a tummy like this, I ought to be. That definitely looks like a 6-month pregnant tummy right there. But obviously, it's just fat. So what do you do at this time? Well, scientifics, we're doing a little experiment, and what better way than to experiment than an experiment on oneself. Now, you've all heard about the latest craze, which is the burning of the tummy, the new liposuction, which is not liposuction at all, but it's actually freeze away your pounds with this new technique that's cost $2,000 or something ridiculous like that. Well, I thought to myself, what are they really doing there? They're just lowering temperature. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this experiment. We're going to see if, first of all, you can liposuck at home, which is, I'm not talking about a tube getting in there and sucking it out. I'm talking about to burn away the fat cells using a freeze cryogenic technique. Well, luckily for you, I've done the research and looked it up online. Somebody, yada yada, well, lots of people, but somebody's claiming that, yeah, all you got to do is lower the body temperature a little bit and the fat cells freeze away. So here's what we're going to do. Can you freeze away your fat at home? Experiment number 1 right here on self. First, you're going to need a little bit of this. So you're going to need this, which is a little bit of a kind of one of those wraparound things that you can wrap around your waist. Next, you're going to need a measuring tape because you have to measure your girth around your waist. So let's see how fat that 9 months pregnancy is. Let's wrap this thing around. Let's see. Now, I've wrapped this tape around me, and at the fattest, in other words, the most fattest, biggest bulk, we're looking at 46. I don't know if you can see that, but we're looking at 46.25 pounds, quarter inches, or a little bit more. So, that's fine and all dandy, but we'd have to use a scientific measure because what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be disturbing the actual technique of laziness by quite a bit because you probably are familiar already with this. This is called a bed, and you probably sit on there all day long and don't get up. So that's exactly what you're familiar with already, and or this, which is for lazy boy lounge chair, whatever you call it. I actually happen to have a car seat that I pulled out of a car, and I make that be my lazy boy armchair. So we're familiar with that, and all we do is sit down, and really, it's not a scientific test if you start to walk around and do all sorts of things. So once you introduce things, then obviously you can't tell whether it's the exercise or the lack of food or whatever that's making you lose weight. So let's use a scientific method. We're going to introduce 2 things, which are getting off this, and we're going to also introduce this Bicosaurus Rex here. Why are we actually going to pedal away? Because if you stand still, it said on the internet that the fat cells do not go away, they sit in one spot. So is it the exercise, is it the lack of food, or is it the actual burning of the fat through this cryogenic process? We're going to scientifically test this, of course. What we're going to do right now, we've got our measurement, our base, which is 46.25, which is 46 inches and a quarter. But what we want to do is measure each side, because are we going to freeze away all of it at the same time? No, we want to freeze that side before that side to see if there becomes a slope. If this side obviously gets smaller than this side, then obviously the cryogenics is working. And revolutionary because it's practically free. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to measure. That's about precisely right. If I lost 1/4, it doesn't matter. 1/4, who cares about 1/4 inch, right? We didn't need to lose them. You know, pulgadas, inches is what we want. So be able to see a gradual slope, meaning that the left side actually looks pokier than the right side, right? Right now they look about even. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, the first thing we start with is a bag, a Ziploc bag. Now, on the internet, they tell you these things leak, etc., etc. That's not true. You just double them up. What are you going to pay 20 bucks for a dumb Ziploc bag? It doesn't spill, and you can just do this. So you get, oops, wrong side. It doesn't matter because all we need is ice and water. Now, we're going to put a little ice in here. You can see. Okay, that's enough. Probably spent about 15 minutes. Exhausted, and luckily the time has run out where I have done a complete hour in my experiment here, my cryogenic freeze. Happened here, so I'm going to take off this cryogenic bag. As you can see, most of the ice is thawed, and so is it warm to the touch? No, it's still freezing. It's still There's actually a couple of ice granules in there, which is a good sign, because that tells you that it never lost its heat. A couple of hours, so a lot of difference between this side and this side. This side's all frozen up. We're working, we're thinking, hopefully those cells are gonna, evacuate through the liver as soon as they die, which actually tends to take about a month. They get cool, they say, ooh, it's freezing time. And, I'm starting to itch a little bit here, which is a good sign. It means that I've frozen a few things, not actually frozen, because that's when you get the bad thing. But anyway, this is my third time doing this, and so we're gonna see the results on the scale.